Hello, sixth graders. So we're going to continue our fraction division unit by talking about how to estimate the quotient of mixed numbers. So let's look at this word problem we have here. It says Lillian and her friends can hike an average of 3 5/8 miles per hour. About how many hours will it take them to hike the trail? So I see the hiking trail right here. It says it's 15 5/6 miles. So they average 3 5/8 miles per hour. So they want to know how many hours. What key word in this box tells you that you're estimating this problem? Well, I see the word about. So that tells me right away, okay, I'm making an estimate. So we're estimating the quotient of 15 5/6 divided by 3 5/8. All right, so there's two ways we can estimate. Same exact ways that we talk about for adding, subtracting, and multiplying whole numbers and fractions. The first way is rounding. All right, so we can round. And make sure when we estimate, guys, we don't want to have any fractions anymore. We want to round them to whole numbers. So we look at the fraction and that tells us what to do. If it's half or above, we round it up or give it a shove. If it's below half, it stays the same. The whole number stays as the same. All right, so let's look at this example. 15 5/6. Well, I know that 3/6 is half. So 5/6 is greater than half, so I'm going to round it up to 16. 3 5/8. Well, I know 4/8 is half. So 5/8 is bigger, so I'm going to round 3 5/8 up to 4. Now I have a really basic division problem, 16 divided by 4, and I get 4. All right, so the estimate, one way you could do it is rounding. The other way you can do it is using compatible numbers. So not necessarily finding the rounding rules, but using numbers that are very close to the whole numbers. So for example, they made 15 5/6, 16, but they made 3 5/8, 4. So 16 divided by 4, they said about 4 hours. But then this one, they rounded 15 5/6, they actually made 15. And 3 5/8, they made 3, because 15 divided by 3 is 5. So you can round or you can use compatible numbers. But either way, look, you get 4 for this, you get 4 for that, you get 5 for that. Your answer should be about the same. So you even so an estimate of 4 or 5 hours for the hike is reasonable. All right, so let's do a few examples together. All right, so let's look at this first one. All right, so I'm going to make this, I'm going to round it down because 1/3 is less than half. I'm going to make this 35. Now, I need to think about what number is easily divisible or goes into 35. So 6 2/3, I can actually round up to 7. The big thing is, guys, you just want to have a nice, easy division problem. If you made this a 6, 35 divided by 6 is not a nice, easy division problem. So make it nice for you so you can easily do it. So 35 divided by 7, our answer is about 5. This one, 11 3/8. If I rounded, 3/8 is less than half, right? So I really would get 11. But let's look at this second one first. 3 7/9 rounds up to 4. And I know 11 divided by 4 is not an easy division problem. But what is? 12 divided by 4 is a nice, easy division problem that I get the answer of 3. Let's look at this next one right here. We have 24 5/8 divided by 5 4/7. Well, this is about, if I use compatible numbers, this is 24. And then I have to think, well, what is 5 4/8 really close to? It's really close to 6. And I know 24 divided by 6 is a nice, easy division problem. 24 divided by 6 is 4. So sixth graders, just make sure when you're doing these, you want to get rid of the fraction and just have a nice, easy division problem.